I think we'd both agree artwork is the biggest issue with DTF printing, but we just fixed that.
Absolutely. I think what we just launched on Pro Transfers is going to be a game changer for a lot of our customers.
I agree. Why don't you give them a little quick view so they can see what we mean?
All right. Make this really fast because while we do a lot behind the scenes, it's really simple from a customer perspective. You just upload a piece of artwork just like that. Once you set, let's just say how many you want, you'll have this option of art services right here. You can optimize it or select to decline any services, then just click accept and continue and add that to your cart. If you decide to change your mind at any point in time, just, click it here. And if you need to send us any notes about something, you can still, give us a note right here. And honestly, it's just that easy.
So you and I both know that this is almost always the biggest struggle for shops, for us. I mean, it's kind of both sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Why was implementing artwork services crucial for us?
One of the key learnings we had over the last 12 months is that art is literally 50% of the equation for a high quality final product. And even some of our best, most advanced customers oftentimes struggle with that. And so it's kind of like bad outcomes can oftentimes start with the file itself. We also realized that many of the issues with the artwork weren't complicated. They were really simple things that we knew that we could assist with. And so we just decided, instead of complaining about the artwork people were sending us, which I know a lot of people do, a lot of other vendors rather do. We just decided to meet people where they were and help them achieve the outcomes they were looking for. It was literally that simple.
Yeah. Again, just to reiterate what you said, most print issues start with the file. And now, by us offering this service, we're essentially giving the customer another quality assurance double check so that, again, when they get it in hand, it's less worry for them and then less issues for us. I mean, it's a win-win in my opinion. Is this like an AI one-click optimize like everybody else has, or is it different?
No. I think AI a lot of times is you could say the elephant in the room. AI is great at a lot of things like ideating, things like that. But when it comes to doing kind of final prep work, it's just not there yet. And so when we do this, it's actually real people, real eyeballs, real professional tools that we're using to look at the artwork and make minor corrections.
Yeah. AI is a good starting place, but it's definitely not a home run. And I can understand why other places use it, but I think the fact that we aren't jumping straight to AI is actually a huge benefit for us and our customers. But like you and I talk about on our kind of AI specific podcast and video series, make sure you check that out, is, it's always evolving too. But, with this optimization artwork service, is this something that the user has to have and has to use?
Not at all. In a way, we've always done it, and we will continue to look at every single piece of artwork that comes in, like on an individual basis. We've just never explicitly asked for people's kind of permission and approval to do that. And so we are explicitly kind of asking for that now. But we're not just doing that. We're also actually kind of increasing the level of service that we're providing. So whereas before we just would kind of look at it and say, hey, this might be a little problem, fix a little thing here or there, we're literally taking that to the next level. It's why I wanted to make sure we highlighted that and asked for explicit approval to do so. And just one point to make too, this is just preparation. There's no material changes happening to the artwork. And if anything is, really large and could materially change the artwork, believe me, we'll be reaching out to say, how would you like us to handle this?
Yeah, is it safe to say this isn't an artwork editing tool? It's an artwork finalization, cross the T, dot the I, make sure it looks like good to go, correct?
Yeah, like, I guess you can think about it as like one last look to get it across the finish line. You'd be surprised, like the little bitty things on a piece of artwork for DTF that can kind of ruin the outcome, like on a curved line on a raster image, for example, if you've just got too many or too extreme sort of transparent pixels that on a digital screen make it look like a nice curve. We understand that when you take that into the print environment, that actually can create like fragmentation, bits and pieces of white ink, or it can create kind of a jagged edge. So there's just some known things that we can look at and take care of, but we're not going to turn a cat into a dog or a bicycle into a motorcycle like AI might.
Yeah, and it's not the upload a JPEG and say, please turn this into a logo for me. It's a kind of a final touch per se. And I mean, on that point, just to clarify for everybody listening, we have a basic optimization and then an advanced optimization. What's kind of, where do the two differ? When do we go from basic, so what's offered in that, and then at what point does it turn into advanced?
Yeah, I think the advanced part is easy to hit first because, there's no button you can click to say, give me advanced artwork services. It's just if you need some help or if we see something we think you may need some help with, it's us reaching out to you or use the help widget to say, man, can I get some assistance with it, with this? A good example of advanced is sometimes, hey, I don't want this to be full coverage. Can you help with some half toning? And we've done that, and it's not always free, but it's not free for us either. But we've helped with things like that in the past. That's easy to answer. The basic stuff really comes down to things like, among other things, do you have blurry edges or dirty edges on an image? Or sometimes we'll see things where you've got like unintended sort of semi-transparent areas on an image. We've seen a lot of images come through where everything is transparent, but there's clearly a spot where somebody forgot to make like a little knockout transparent that we would help with. Other things that we've seen are things like somebody puts in an image where they've uploaded it and maybe the original image was 10 inches wide, but they're asking for it in 5 inches wide. And then maybe they have some thin lines that when they ask us to print it much smaller, those lines get very, 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 very small. I mean, sub half a point. And we know that when you get down to that level, that it can have, can become unpredictable whether or not it adheres to the fabric and might come off, when you take the sheet off after you heat press it. So those are the kind of little things that you would expect us to cover with basic.
Just so I'm clear, does background removal come in the basic option?
This was a long topic of discussion. The short answer is no, it doesn't. But it was also a very intentional decision. My thought, I guess what it boiled down to was background removal oftentimes is garbage in, garbage out. If you send us something like a JPEG that's low resolution and we're trying to remove a background, where does it start? Where does it end? How do we create, the right kind of edge to make it work? And frankly, there's all kinds of tools out there that you can use to remove background images that are free.
Yeah. Yeah. From where I sit too, I see a lot of people wanting a background removed and asking for us. And then when we do it, we might accidentally remove parts that they didn't. So it just becomes less of a gamble for us. And it's part of the reason I think we ultimately decided was not offering as an option and providing other resources for them to go get that done. So, but no, that.
Well, like, let's be clear. We're not going to strand anybody.
Sure.
I mean, we have, for the most part, shops that work with us that do this for a living, or advanced crafters or startups, like they kind of get it right. And then occasionally we'll get the image in from somebody. We'll always point them in the right direction for a good tool, or we'll talk to them and just try to help them out.
Yeah, I mean, I always, when I get the call about that, or I see artwork come in and I need to remove the background or need the background removed, and people are struggling with it, and that's why we've developed a lot of the utility videos on YouTube. Is here's how you remove the background in Adobe. Here's how you remove the background in Canva. Here's how to remove the background in Corel. So, again, like you mentioned, we're not going to leave anybody stranded, and ideally, we're going to help gift people and lift people to the point where they're artwork experts.
Yes. There's also one other thing just to kind of put a bow on this is that a lot of services do offer background removal, but they use AI to do that. They literally have some kind of AI plugin, or they're sending it off to an API. And we thought about that, but ultimately we made the decision not to use AI for background removal because it's not predictable. And we know that what we need to achieve are predictable outcomes. And while it gets it right, a lot of the times it gets it wrong enough times that it tends to create more headache and more hassle and more problems than it solves. So we decided not to use AI to just kind of have that magic background removal done by AI. It just doesn't work as advertised.
Wow. Sounds like we're going to make a splash. This should help a lot of people.
Yeah. You know, not to carry on, but one of the things that's launching now too is, and we could do a whole nother video on this, but is we now support SVG images. And why that is important for the background removal piece is a lot of customers use Canva. And with Canva, even with a pro Canva account, you can export as a PDF, but you cannot export a PDF with a transparent background.
Correct.
But you can export a PNG, or I'm sorry, you can export not only a PNG, but an SVG with a transparent background. Of course, the benefit of an SVG is you have smooth lines no matter how you scale it, you know, because it's not a rasterized image. And this was actually quite a big lift to get SVGs in there. So for all the Canva users out there, with the Pro account, you can now export as an SVG with a transparent background, not have to worry about the resolution issues, and upload it directly. And we can now accept those SVGs. And that really helps, I think, with that background removal.
That's a big help for a lot of our users. And then obviously for us. Sick.
Yeah. So we're really excited to launch Artwork Services. It's great we have a chance to explain to people kind of what's included, what's not included. There's, of course, as you're going through, link to our Artwork Services guide on the website. And then we'll also have this video on that guide so that if you have any questions, you can always read that, watch this video. And our help widget's always available. So we're here to chat with you about it and help you out.
Till next time.
I'm Paul.
And I'm AJ.